Now back then in the early 1800s and the 18th century, which is a time period we portray in our videos, the word recipe is not a thing. It's not a thing like it is now. It used to be receipt in the English language. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Because when you go to the store, you get a receipt, it's a list.
It tells you the quantity and the item.
Exactly.
Without the instruction, of course, but these old receipts or recipes, if you will, they're very vague, so they ain't got much instruction. They just tell you the quantities, so it's a receipt.
Planning an 18th century wedding is not easy. Luckily, we've got family on both sides to help out, starting with the wedding cake. Brittany, have you ever made a 200-year-old cake recipe before?
No, first time, literally.
Well,
I read the recipe, it's quite interesting.
It's not too different than a modern cake. The only difference is that there's no vanilla in it, and there's going to be a ridiculous amount of fruit. The wedding cake is going to be an early 1800s receipt. It's pre-1820. So it's actually a little later than the 18th century wedding we're going for, but I fell in love with this wedding cake receipt. It looks very boozy. So I translated the recipe, and this cake is actually from 1828. It was published in Modern Domestic Cookery. It's an American recipe for wedding cake. I just thought I'd have to do it. Ron wanted a Rev War wedding. I wanted an early 1800s wedding. So this is how we're blending the two. I got my early 1800s wedding cake. So first we're gonna do is we're gonna cream the butter and sugar together. 2.6 sticks. How many batches of this cake did you say we had to make?
13.
13. 13 batches.
6 layers and 2 full sheet cakes. So.
Okay, sugar, we need a little over 1 cup of sugar.
Yeah,
and this is just for one batch. We gotta do 13 batches. I think I'm gonna add the cinnamon right now too.
Okay.
I like creaming the butter sugar with the spices. I just feel like it incorporates it a little better. I'm just gonna eyeball this. I'm not a measurer at all, but since we're actually cooking for people, I guess I gotta do it proper this time. I can get my hands dirty.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness, it's rock hard. We're gonna be here all day, Britt.
Yeah. We should have let that sit out.
This is how I stay in shape. I'm already sweating.
I'm trying to think what would make that easier. I have like a potato smasher.
Do you have an electric mixer?
I do.
Brett, you're holding out on me!
Well, I just want to see, you know.
Electric mixer, please.
Okay.
Typically on the channel, I don't use any electricity, but with this many batches to make, we're gonna need it.
Okay, I think that looks good.
The next step, brandy.
Brandy.
We have to make this stretch across 13 cakes.
13 cakes.
This was $20. I couldn't afford 2 of them.
It's a beautiful bottle.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that should be good.
One batch might be a little stronger than the other.
Right. Have you ever had currants before?
I have not. Is it kind of like a raisin?
It is.
Let me see.
It looks like a raisin and it tastes a little bit like a raisin.
And is that the fruit, the currant? I love raisins though too.
Good, because this is gonna be heavy on the currants. Now another thing I bet you've never had. This is called citron. Have you ever had citron?
No, what is that?
It's a type of fruit, which also used to be very popular in early American cooking, but has gone completely out of favor. It kind of has a citrusy flavor.
2.5 tablespoons.
Right. I'm just gonna eyeball everything.
Okay.
In fact, it says even on here, holiday fruit, because that's the only time people ever use this stuff anymore in the United States. But it used to be everywhere. We also got a zest, 2 lemons.
But no lemon juice, huh? Just this.
No lemon juice.
Okay. Are you using your farm fresh eggs first?
I am.
Okay.
Well, most of them. I did have to buy some just because this is good. With 13 cakes, Britt, this is gonna take 60 something eggs.
I know.
I only got 5 laying hens at the moment. Now, your sister has a little bit of experience with cakes.
My family, particularly on my mom's side, has been in the restaurant business our whole life. So my sister's done catering as well, but she does wedding cakes.
She has never made a historical cake
Nope.
before.
So it'd be interesting.
This is going to be interesting. And never in my life have I made a cake this big. And this is just the first batch.
It's gonna be a long day.
It's going to be a long day. We're going to be here for a while. We got to make 13 batches.
Mm-hmm. No shells, right?
No shells. That was never historically correct.
Yep.
No one likes a really crunchy cake.
Back in the day, me and Ronald, we would make meringue for our tops of our pies at the restaurant.
Right.
And if the mixer went out or if it was in use, you had to whip it by hand. Oh, it'd take forever.
That'd be rough, especially when you're cooking for a large group of people at a restaurant.
Yep.
Speaking of Ronald, you know, getting married in 2 days.
Yep.
You're the only one
Pretty
I
wild.
can ask. Does he have any skeletons in his closet I need to know about? No one else will tell me, just you will tell me.
No, I'd say he's pretty, what you see is what you get with my brother. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Okay.
Thank you. This is some sliced almonds I'm gonna put in, just eyeball it. Let's see, is there anything else? Liquid, oh, the milk. And then we're ready to give it another mix.
Yep. Okay.
Ooey gooey. This is the candied lemon peel. You wanna try it? It's not sour.
It's not bad.
It's definitely something you have to mix with other things. But I
It's
think
not near as tart as I thought it would be.
no, and it looks like gummy worms. I guess it was their equivalent of gummy worms back in the day.
Mm-hmm. It's got the same texture.
It does, and it looks like it. I'm just chopping it up real nice and small so that everyone gets a bite.
So typically with a wedding cake, you guys keep the top tier, and then for your 1 year anniversary, you're gonna eat it. Is that something you guys are wanting to do?
I did hear about that. Oh, I didn't really put too much thought into it. I don't even have a freezer. But hey, any excuse to eat
Borrow
cake,
mine.
sign me up. I'll do it. A little bit more in that 1 cup. Okay, that's 1 cup.
All right. It's 2. It's gonna be thick. It's about like cookie consistency right now. Which typically back then was not more the consistency of their cakes anyways.
It was, yeah. Their cakes used to be pretty dry, pretty dense, really rich.
Yeah, when I
So-
read the recipe, I knew it was gonna be a pretty dense cake.
Yeah, it's a pretty dense cake. We got 1 done.
1 done.
12 left to go.
Oh.
This is going to be the top of the wedding cake, you
Yeah.
said?
Yep, so this will be the one you won't eat for a year.
Okay.
When we do cakes, I always tell them, like, make sure you don't cut the top, because that's what you're gonna save. Everybody wants to cut the top of the cake.
Looks like we might have a little extra.
That's right, we're gonna need it for the next layers.
Right. When I thought, who's going to help me make this cake? You were the first one that came to my mind, that's for sure.
Well, thank you.
This is a first historical cake.
Right?
And it's for your own brother.
Yep. Okay, I think that'll work.
That'll work.
We'll run with that.
Pop her in the oven.
That one. And then this. Okay, 1 layer in, 2 more to go, and 2 full sheet cakes.
Okay. With the cakes in the oven, all we have to do is wait, and then it's time to finally taste. I am really excited to try this cake.
Still not too
If it tastes as good as it smells, we'll be fine. I'm a little nervous because, well, we only have 1 day left until the wedding, and can't really change things now because I
Right.
already bought all the
Rolling
ingredients.
with it.
We're rolling with it no
It's
matter
already
what.
baked. I'm not gonna have much to cut off here, so we will get
Enough for a
taste.
sample.
Oh my. Crumbly.
200-year-old recipe for wedding cake.
Right? Oh, it's really crumbly.
Looks moist.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the fruit is evenly spread throughout it. Well, do you want to try it?
Yeah.
Please be good.
Oh, hang on. You want to practice? Feed you? Pretty good.
That's actually pretty good.
Now tomorrow, or no, Saturday, you're just gonna, are you
No.
gonna cram it in his face?
No, we're not doing that. Mm-mm. That's really good.
It's pretty good.
For a fruitcake, I am really impressed by it. There's a really nice amount of lemon flavor throughout it.
That's kind of like the first taste you get.
Lemon. It's really bright. It's refreshing. It's fruity. I actually love it. I think all the guests are gonna like it
It's a
too.
win.
It's a win. This is a 10 out of 10 wedding cake. This ain't your mama's wedding cake.
No.
This is your great grandma's wedding cake.
Unique for sure. Awesome.
Well, I have to go to town. Have to help Ron set up the tables and chairs for the ceremony.
Okay.
So I'm gonna leave you to it, and I really, really appreciate you helping me with this, Brett.
I got this.
If they taste anything like this is gonna be a hit.
It's gonna be good.
Thank you, Brett.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate your help.
No problem.
I'll see you at the wedding then.
Yes, good luck.